Have you ever felt like someone said one thing, but meant something completely different? You ask, "What's wrong?" She says, "Nothing." But somehow, you know something is done. It's like trying to solve a puzzle that keeps changing shape. More you think you understand, the more confusing it gets. Here's the truth. Female psychology isn't confusing. It's just deeply hidden. Not because women want to be mysterious, but because society, history, and nature have shaped them to speak in layers. Today, we're going to peel those layers back. We'll explore where this behavior comes from: ancient myths, biology, evolution, and culture. We'll look at the hidden codes of emotion, power, desire, and communication. This isn't just about understanding others. It's about opening your eyes to something you were never taught to see. So ask yourself, what if everything you thought you understood was only the surface? Long before psychology became a science, there were stories, goddesses, queens, priestesses, witches. In Egypt, there was Isis, known for magic, healing, and rebirth. In India, Shakti, pure power and energy. In Greece, Sophia, the soul of wisdom. These weren't just myths. They were symbols of how people saw feminine energy. Deep, mysterious, emotional, creative, powerful. Today, we hear words like emotional, sensitive, or complicated. But in ancient times, those traits were seen as sacred. Then something changed. Over time, women's wisdom was feared. It was hidden. Labeled dangerous. What once was holy became taboo. And even now, these ancient ideas live inside us. They show up in behavior we can't always explain. In instinct, in emotion, in silence. So when you see a reaction that feels dramatic or hard to read, you might just be witnessing a very old voice echoing through time. Let's go deeper. Female behavior isn't just shaped by culture. It's also shaped by evolution. For thousands of years, survival wasn't about strength alone. It was about connection, safety, reading emotions, forming bonds. Women evolved to be hyper-aware of their environment, of faces, tones, micro changes in mood, not because of weakness, but because it kept their families alive. Science shows the female brain is wired to process emotion faster, to notice social changes quicker, to multitask better. But then, society adds another layer. From a young age, many girls are told to be nice, stay quiet, smile more. They learn to hide direct anger, to express needs subtly. To carry the weight of others' emotions while denying their own. So, what do you get? A complex mix: natural instincts shaped by survival, covered by cultural expectations. And when you don't understand that mix, it all seems confusing. But once you do, you realize it's not confusion. It's code. Have you ever walked into a room and felt the energy change? No one said anything, but somehow you knew. That's emotional intelligence. And many women, by both biology and upbringing, become masters at it. They learn to speak without words through tone, timing, silence, eye contact. They read the space between sentences. Hear what's not being said. Science shows that many female brains are wired to connect both sides more fluidly: logic and emotion, left and right. That gives them an edge in reading faces, understanding unspoken feelings, and managing social dynamics. In the past, women weren't always allowed to speak openly. So they found other ways to communicate: through gestures, glances, even coded language. Today, those old habits still live. So when a woman says, "I'm fine," with a slight pause or a forced smile, that's not just a sentence. It's a whole story. To hear it, you have to stop listening with your ears and start listening with your presence. Desire is not simple. It's not just about attraction or romance. It's about feeling safe and also feeling free. Here's the paradox. Many women want connection, security, and stability, but also independence, freedom, and power. Sometimes those needs pull in different directions. Attachment theory explains how early life shapes how people bond. Some chase closeness, others fear it. Some need control to feel safe, but behind all of it is the deep desire to be seen, understood, and respected. Desire isn't just physical. It's emotional, psychological, spiritual. It's shaped by past wounds, hidden fears, and unconscious beliefs. It can show up as warmth, distance, anger, silence, or playfulness. And when we judge it too quickly, we miss the truth hiding underneath. So the question becomes, can you hold space for both strength and vulnerability? Can you see the fire and not run from the flame? Asterisk. There was a time when female wisdom was feared. In the Middle Ages, women who studied herbs, healing, or intuition were often labeled witches. Some were burned, others were silenced. Why? Because knowledge is power. And power, when not understood, feels like a threat. But these women weren't dangerous. They were keepers of knowledge of the body, the soul, the mind. Their wisdom passed through whispers, rituals, and stories. Even now, those traditions return. We see them in modern wellness, spirituality, and even pop culture. They reappear as intuition, energy work, psychology, and emotional healing. Science is just now catching up to what these witches already knew. Emotions carry energy. Presence changes reality. Listening heals. So, next time someone dismisses female intuition or deep emotional knowing, remember, it's not weakness. It's ancestral wisdom, long buried, rising again. Asterisk. In many parts of the world today, women have more freedom than ever before. They can lead, create, speak, explore. But freedom also comes with weight. With power comes pressure. With independence comes isolation. Studies show that even as women succeed more, anxiety and loneliness are rising. Why? Because true connection isn't just about achievement. It's about meaning. It's about being seen without needing to perform. Many women walk through life doing everything right: career, relationships, goals, yet feel like no one truly knows them. This section isn't about blaming freedom. It's about revealing the cost of pretending we don't need each other. Because no matter how strong someone becomes, they still long to be held. Without being controlled, they still want to be free. Without being left alone. So the question is, can you see strength and softness in the same breath? Asterisk. Let's be honest. Many of the things we believe about female behavior aren't based on truth. They're based on stories, told through a certain lens. Movies, media, and even science have often looked through what's called the male gaze. That means behaviors are interpreted from the outside rather than understood from within. If a woman sets a boundary, she's cold. If she's emotional, she's unstable. If she's confident, she's too much. But what if none of that is real? What if those labels come from our own fears, biases, and expectations? Neuroscience shows we don't see the world as it is, we see it as we are. We look for what we expect. We find what we project. So before you say, she's hard to read, ask, am I actually listening or just assuming? The truth is often there, but you have to clean the lens. Asterisk. So where does this all leave us? We've explored biology, culture, myth, history, and psychology. We've walked through silence, intuition, power, and longing. But this isn't the end of the story. In fact, it's just the beginning. The goal isn't to solve female behavior like a puzzle. It's to realize it was never meant to be solved. It was meant to be understood, witnessed, respected. Because behind every action is a need. Behind every silence is a message. Behind every behavior is a soul. So here's the final question. Will you keep reacting to the surface, or will you listen deeper? And finally, hear what no one talks about. Asterisk, what if the most powerful force shaping a woman's behavior isn't something you can see? Not her words, not her actions, but something older, quieter, hidden. From the moment she's born, a script begins to write itself. Not by her, but for her. It's not written in ink, but in instincts, passed down through generations, shaped by culture, survival, and silence. It whispers, asterisk, be kind, but don't be weak. Be beautiful, but not too bold. Be smart, but not intimidating. Asterisk, behind every smile, behind every polite answer,